Matrices. Practice questions. Let's take a look at the type of matrices questions that you might be shown in an exam. We need to remember that we are looking for the shape that can complete the gap in the matrix. The shapes in the matrix will be connected by patterns. These patterns can run through the matrix in lots of different directions. Always look for patterns running across rows, down columns, diagonally and in a clockwise direction. The patterns in the matrix might be based upon number, colour, shape, symmetry or position. There can be more than one pattern at work in a matrix, so it's important to keep all of these features in mind. So let's jump straight into looking at some questions. When we look at this matrix as a whole, it looks quite tricky, but if we work methodically we will find the answer that fills the gap correctly. Something we can immediately notice is that all of the shapes in the matrix are black. We can rule out option D, it contains a grey shape. Now let's look at the complete rows and columns and go pattern spotting. We can see that each box is a reflection of all the boxes around it. The dividing lines of the matrix act as mirrors. Our remaining answer options look quite similar, so we have to work carefully. To work out what needs to fill the gap, we can imagine reflecting any of the boxes that are next to the gap. It doesn't matter which one we pick. The result of a reflection of these boxes across a horizontal line will look the same as the result of a reflection of these boxes across a vertical line. Let's focus on making our answer a reflection of the middle box in the third row. Look at the black shape in this box. It is at the top of the box, and the circular part touches the left-hand side of the box, so we know that the black shape in our answer must be at the bottom of the box and have its circular part touching the left-hand side of the box. We can rule out option B, the black shape is the wrong way round. We can also rule out E, the black shape is at the top of the box. We're left with A and C. Let's look closely at A first. Although the black shape has been correctly reflected, the lines at the top of the box have not. It is important that we check all parts of the image are correct. We can rule out A, and so we are left with option C, the correct answer. Let's take a look at another one. In this question we're looking at another large matrix. Let's start by looking at the large striped shapes in it. The first thing that we can notice about this matrix is that each row contains only one type of large striped shape. Our answer must contain the same large shape as the other boxes in the middle row, and so we can rule out option C. It contains a different shape. What else can we notice about the shapes in the matrix? Across a row, each box is a 90 degrees clockwise rotation of the previous box. This means we can rule out A. The diamond is a 45 degrees anti-clockwise rotation of the middle diamond. B is a 90 degrees clockwise rotation of the middle box in the row. So it's our answer, right? Well, not quite. If we look closely at the shapes in the matrix, we can see that the stripes do not rotate with the boxes. Across a row, all of the stripes run in the same direction. So we can rule out B, because it does not contain horizontal stripes like the other shapes in the middle row. We are left with D and E. These two answers look very similar. Can you spot anything that's different in these options? Look closely at E. The line next to the black circles is dashed. E is a red herring. It's important to work methodically through non-verbal reasoning questions to avoid getting caught out by red herrings like this. The correct answer that fills the gap in the matrix is D. There are lots of different ways that patterns can move through a matrix. Make sure you check for patterns across rows, down columns, diagonally and for ones that run clockwise around a matrix. There might be more than one pattern in the matrix that you need to find. Every time you spot a pattern, use it to rule out an option. Keep doing this until you are left with one option, the correct answer that will complete the matrix.